Welcome to my Who Is series, where I look at a character and go through various factors about them. In this episode I'll be covering Priscilla Barielle, and we'll discuss her appearance, powers, and backstory in ReZero. Priscilla Barielle is one of the 5 candidates vying for the throne of Lugunica in the royal selection. Priscilla is usually adorned with a red colour scheme and usually invokes imagery of the sun and fire. Keeping with this trend, Priscilla's nickname by the locals is known as the Sun Goddess, and she is very well liked by her followers. However, for us to understand Priscilla, we need to understand her background. To do this, we must look at the country to the south of Lugunica, namely Wallachia. When we are first introduced to Priscilla, we find out that her actual born name is Prisca Benedict, and Prisca was a child of the Wallachian king, which means that Prisca is a member of Wallachian royalty. Even at a young age of 12, Prisca was extremely intelligent and had her signature catchphrase, which is, "This world is solely made for my convenience." Due to being Wallachian royalty, Prisca was often the target of assassination attempts, most of which would fail, usually due to Prisca's guards and her trusted ally Arachia, which Prisca took kind to. In one such assassination attempt, Prisca's body double, a young girl by the name of Priscilla, was killed in the process. Remember this detail for later as it's very important. Prisca, due to being a royal, was also a candidate to partake in the imperial selection. This is essentially the selection process to become the Emperor of Wallachia. Not only did Prisca have Wallachian royal blood, she was also chosen by the Yang Sword Wallachia, which is one of the many qualifications needed to become the Emperor of Wallachia. Prisca and 31 other half-siblings competed for the throne of Wallachia in a battle royale, where the first step was to hold the Yang Sword Wallachia. Those who were qualified to partake in the royal selection would be unharmed. Those who were not worthy would burn to death. After this preliminary test, Prisca and 10 other candidates were left standing. So Prisca then had to eliminate the 10 half-siblings to become the Wallachian Emperor. The most notable of these 10 half-siblings was a man by the name of Vincent Abelux. As a result, Prisca and another half-sibling known as Lamia teamed up in order to beat Vincent. However, unbeknownst to Lamia, Prisca actually teamed up with Vincent beforehand and double-crossed Lamia and killed her. Once the selection was just down to Vincent and Prisca, Chishagold, Vincent's henchman, handed Prisca a gift of sake before they did battle. However, Prisca told Arachia to break the gift. After all, it was normal for people to poison gifts to kill people. Arachia proceeded to shatter the jar of sake, breaking the contents all over the floor. Yet despite that, Arachia proceeded to kneel down and licked the sake off the floor. Shortly after, Arachia's body started convulsing. The sake was poisoned, and thus Prisca had opted to suck the poison out of Arachia's body. If she managed to siphon off half of the poison and brought that poison into her body, Arachia would be able to survive. By splitting up the lethal dose between 2 people, Prisca and Arachia managed to survive. However, both of them were on death's door, and Prisca and Arachia collapsed from the poison. We see that Arachia made a deal with Vincent beforehand, essentially betraying Prisca because Arachia did not believe that Prisca would be able to beat Vincent, and the royal selection for Wallachia requires you to kill all of your siblings. In other words, Arachia believed that Prisca would be killed, and because Arachia loves Prisca, she betrayed Prisca so that Prisca could be able to survive. With Prisca at death's door with the poison, Vincent was able to announce that Prisca was dead. However, we see later that Priscilla is standing before the tomb of Prisca Benedict. Remember that body double I told you to remember about at the start of the video? Prisca assumed Priscilla's identity, and Priscilla's body was buried under the name of Prisca Benedict, allowing the real Prisca Benedict to assume a new name and traverse the world under the name of Priscilla. Priscilla would eventually travel to Lugunica, often being sold due to her actual background of Wallachian royalty, and she would marry for a total of 8 times, usually for various reasons, such as people recognizing her true identity or for more nefarious reasons. Her latest marriage was with Leap Barielle, who located Priscilla and realized that she was a suitable candidate for the royal selection of Lugunica, and therefore wed her and wanted to use her for his own personal ambitions. During Priscilla's marriage with Leap Barielle, she wanted a knight, and therefore organized a tournament in which the winner would be given that title. However, she eventually chose Aldebaran, who came 3rd in the tournament, and she chose him because he was interesting. When Aldebaran learned of Leap Barielle's plan of using Priscilla for his own personal ambitions, Aldebaran incapacitated him, and Leap Barielle later died. Since taking over Leap Barielle's land, Priscilla has heavily improved the living conditions, and the crops are more bountiful. She has made such a positive impact that the people call her the Sun Goddess. With all of that said, that is the past of Priscilla Barielle, from her time as Wallachian royalty to when she was betrayed by Arachia and defeated by Vincent, to her journey to Lugunica, to meeting Al and becoming a royal candidate for the Lugunican throne. When it comes to Priscilla's abilities, she has the divine protection of the sun, which greatly increases her strength and abilities during the daytime. Priscilla can also use Yang magic, which is light magic, and can also use the Yang sword Wallachia, which can burn objects that she wants to burn. She also has an ability she calls the Sun Disc, which seemingly prevents her from being influenced by external factors, such as authorities, such as the authority of Wrath, and can be used to protect people other than herself. She also possesses gemstones, which can absorb fatal damage that is inflicted on Priscilla. Priscilla is struck by a fatal blow, the gemstone will shatter instead. Priscilla also seems to possess great luck or foresight, seemingly making arbitrary decisions which will always work out in her favour. Priscilla also seems to possess the true or original form of the soul marriage technique, albeit not much is known about the true extent of this ability. Moving on to trivia for Priscilla that you may not know. Priscilla has a habit of pulling out her fan from between her cleavage, and is something we see happen in the anime. This is actually something that she learned from Lamia, her half-sibling that she killed during the Imperial selection. As of Arc 6, Priscilla is stated to have the same strength or fighting ability as Emilia. When Tappei made his breast size ranking several years ago, the female character in the series with the biggest breasts was Priscilla. Priscilla is one of the few characters that uses English words when speaking, learning them from Aldebaran. Despite being arrogant and prideful, Priscilla has shown many times to save people for no reason. Some such examples include Al, Schult, Rem, Subaru, Liliana, and Arachia, even when it would endanger her life. Despite being married 8 times, Priscilla is still a virgin. Despite Priscilla's good luck, we have actually seen that she has been killed and assassinated once by Ye Tenzin. However, Ao was able to ensure that Priscilla didn't die by resetting his territory, thus saving Priscilla. So it does mean that Priscilla can die, and maybe all the times that Priscilla avoids danger, maybe Ao is influencing it with his territory. However, that's just up to speculation. Thank you for watching.